Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest has a way with spices, and he's adding them to a cookie that could soon be your family's new favorite holiday treat. We welcome back food editor of Christopher Kimball's Milk Street, Matthew Card. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about this cookie.
So I love this cookie. It represents so much of what we do at Milk Street because it's really strongly flavored. It's got a lot going on. It's got a great story, and everybody can eat it. It's gluten-free because it's made with almond flour. It's very low fat. The flavor's great. The spices are great. Clearly, I love it. When I'm making a holiday cookie, when I'm making a cookie, I really I want it to have impact. Like if I'm gonna eat those calories, I want to make sure it's got big flavor and it's really enjoyable. And this works equally well with coffee and your eggnog and everything else. So it's a cookie that crosses boundaries, we can say.
I love it.
So this is a chocolate spice cookie, chocolate-almond spice cookie, and it's originally from Switzerland. The original Swiss cookie is a little fussy because you have to grind the almonds and grind the spices, and you're supposed to let it age. Then you roll it out. They do make these beautiful cutouts. But when was the last time you made a cutout cookie?
Never.
Yeah, they're kind of a pain in the neck. So what we did is we turned it into a drop cookie, which adds great texture, adds great flavor, and makes them so super simple. Literally takes 2 bowls.
All right, let's do it.
So the base of the cookie is almond flour, as I was talking about. At Milk Street, we like switching around the flours. We often look for something that has more flavor to it. Almond flour, rye. We make a great chocolate chip cookie with rye flour.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
it's great. So flours that add spice and dimension and body to a dish. In this case, again, we're using almond flour. So bleached, or
unbleached.
Blanched almond flour, which you can get at most any market.
Okay.
And to this, we're going to add spices. So it's going to be cardamom, ginger, and cinnamon. It's not that whole long list of spices sometimes you see in spice cookies. So you get this great clarity of flavor, and you taste each spice, and we use a fair amount of it, so that it's pretty robust. But we're going to toast those spices with the almond flour. So we've toasted those, mixed them up.
In the pan you toasted them?
In the pan. It's about 5 to 7 minutes, medium heat. You do want to pay attention. Almond flour can brown pretty quickly because there's a fair amount of fat in that almond. So it's going to turn a darker shade. And then you want to make sure it cools. Otherwise, it's going to melt the chocolate. It's going to make a mess. So it's cooled for a bit. So we're going to put that in our mixing bowl here.
And that already has the spices in it, or no?
It does, because when you toast spices, you're activating those volatile flavors, the oils and stuff. So it's super important here. So again, it's our spices and our almond flour. And to this, we're going to add cocoa.
Oh, yes.
And
unsweetened, right?
Unsweetened, just straight up cocoa. Dutch process, whatever you get, natural, anything works here. And a fair amount of salt. The salt helps cut the sweetness and helps really amplify the flavors. It's really important to use salt. And we just use kosher salt because it really dissolves into the batter.
It does. Salt brings out the flavor in foods.
It
really does, yeah.
And sometimes in cookies, it's really nice to have that sort of pop of salinity. It just adds this extra dimension. So then we're going to add sugar, just regular white sugar there. We're going to mix that up.
Did you have the boys tried it, your 2 boys?
Yes. Well, they were eating the dough this morning as I was baking the cookies.
Oh, don't tell the CDC. No. Wait, don't tell anybody.
But I mean,
I know. I hear you.
Sometimes cookie dough is actually better than the cookie, isn't it?
I hear you.
Yeah. So we're going to add vanilla. It's a fair amount of vanilla again. These cookies have a really strong, robust flavor.
To the eggs?
To the eggs. It's just egg whites. 4 egg whites. We're just going to beat those lightly. We're not whipping them. We're not doing anything. We just want to sort of blend those 2. And then we can add it right to our mix here. And it's going to make a really...
It smells so good.
It does.
Yeah.
It's going to make a really stiff batter. Stir it up.
And are the boys helping you in the kitchen now?
They are. You know, we're trying to get them to do dishes. Have you ever tried to teach somebody how to load a dishwasher?
Yeah, my husband.
Yeah. It's Tetris, right? But some people treat it as like anarchy.
Right.
There is no room for anarchy in the dishwasher.
I hear you. I don't know how many times I've tried. It doesn't work. I give up. I just move things around after he's done.
I do too.
Yeah.
And then they hear it and then they come down.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah. Oh,
Everything.
No.
Okay, so we have this really stiff batter.
Uh-huh.
And we're just gonna finish mixing that up. And then comes the best part, chocolate.
Chocolate.
A whole 5 ounces of bittersweet chocolate.
Okay.
Get something good, don't use chips, which they don't melt so well
So,
either.
and you've broken them up, clearly.
I did, I
Okay.
chopped them up pretty finely. So we're
What
gonna
are
mix
you
that up.
going to serve? I always like to ask Chef this. What are you going to serve for your holiday meals?
That's a good question. So my wife's family's Swedish, so we do the full Swedish spread. So I cook for days beforehand.
wow.
But I make my own grappled lox, so I cure my salmon. I do Swedish meatballs, do a whole bunch of salads. We do herring. It just goes on and on and on.
Okay.
So-
Sorry, we're almost out of
Oh.
time. And I got so busy asking you about that. I'm going to taste this while you do
Okay.
the rest of it. Okay, so you add?
It's a little more sugar and the spices to layer that flavor. So we're just gonna blend that,
That is so good.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's nice and chewy.
It's chewy, really robustly flavored.
That's
So-
super good.
It's just 2 tablespoon balls of that. So you roll it up,
Roll it up.
roll it up.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
I know, but I just want to eat that. Let's be honest. And then you coat them in that spiced sugar. And then they bake. It's about 12 minutes, 375. Put them on. And there you have
There
it.
you go. Matthew, this is wonderful.
Thanks.
It's super good, really. We're going to put the recipe on our website at k2.com.